If I tell you that this book is from 1936, you may think it is outdated. But that's not true at all. The book teaches you how to control social interactions. And we humans are and have always been social creatures. The teachings in this book would have worked 10,000 years ago, when we were walking around in fur clothes with a spear in our hand hunting for food. And they also work today and will keep working in the future. The teachings are priceless. Since I read the book, I have been practicing them as much as possible. And here are my favorite ones and the situations in which I make use of them. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Every day I work on my business, but still have a part-time job for some extra cash. The team I work with has a very impulsive and unfriendly boss. Let's call him Angry Joe. Some of my team members often argue with him, but most just try to avoid him as much as possible. Although Angry Joe often is unfriendly, I try to get to know him better. And with a technique out of this book, I befriended him. Now he never gets angry with me, only with the other team members. And also I never have to do any of the dirty work or work longer hours. All this was possible with a very simple technique. The technique is to become genuinely interested in other people. It is very simple. When I talk to him, I use questions and I use a lot of them. I know this sounds too easy to be true, but try it, it will work wonders. I usually ask him about the things he likes and the things he is proud of. Angry Joe then becomes Proud Joe, because he likes to tell me about his achievements and hobbies and the things he loves. The reason why I don't have to pretend to be interested is my deep belief that every human being has had interesting experiences and some fascinating stories to tell. Becoming genuinely interested in other people is an unbelievably powerful technique if you want to make friends with someone. Last week, Angry Joe passed on some of my work to another member of our team, only so that he can talk to me about his favorite soccer team. So keep in mind, asking someone questions about the things they love lets them connect the things they love with you. And this is why becoming genuinely interested in other people is such a powerful technique. I also want to give you a short overview over the techniques which I found most powerful. A really nice shortcut to befriend a person is to let the other person feel that an awesome idea of yours has actually been his or hers. One time I did this at work and it was very effective. Our team had a meeting and everyone was asked to brainstorm for ideas for our next big project. It turned out that the boss and the team really liked my idea. I immediately thought about this technique and told the boss that I got the idea from a coworker. That way my coworker also got some credit for the idea. Even today my coworker is still very thankful that I said that it was his idea. You can use this when you are at work, school or at any group project. It is very powerful to befriend someone. The next technique should always be in your repertoire. It is not a technique you can use only one time. You can use it over and over again. You should use this every minute when you are in a conversation. And it is, be a good listener. But for most people this sounds easier than it is. Most people only want to interrupt another person and give their own opinion. The next time someone gives his or her opinion, I want you to not interrupt them and allow them to finish and then ask them questions about the things they said. Do this as much as possible. On an unconscious level, this shows the other person that you are interested in their thoughts, and as a result they will like you more and more. And before I will tell you the next technique, I want to ask you 3 questions. When was the last time you made a big mistake? How much did you like admitting the mistake to a person of authority? How do people usually treat you when you admit big mistakes? Usually people try to avoid admitting mistakes because our society punishes people for making mistakes. But next time when someone makes a mistake and have to admit it to you, I want you to welcome it. And I want you to tell the other person that this is no big deal. And after that, I want you to tell him about your last big mistake. And only after that, I want you to correct the other person and talk about his mistake. Usually, people will feel a relief, appreciate it a lot and will value your reaction for a long time. The technique is called call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. No one likes to make mistakes, especially in front of others. If we subtly and indirectly show people mistakes, they will appreciate us and actually be more likely to improve. And the next one is my favorite technique of them all. And it is: remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. This one is a really easy one for sure. Too bad that only few people make use of this. Just say the name of the other person more often than you normally would. People love to hear their name constantly. This lets them feel more important, and everyone likes to feel more important. For example, when you talk for 5 minutes to your angry Joe at your work, try to say his name 5 times in this 5-minute conversation. It will work wonders. There are also things the book recommends to avoid. Since I read it, I try to avoid arguments as much as possible. Let's say you like eating meat and you have a conversation with a vegan. Even if you like him, the conversation often goes like this: "Hey, why don't you want to taste these mouth-watering buffalo ribeye steaks?" "Oh, I would never eat anything that was brutally murdered." If you eat things like this, you promote the killing of more and more animals. That's unethical. Yes, but we humans have canine teeth. That means naturally we are supposed to eat meat. And they won't stop killing animals because I stop eating this ribeye steak. Today we humans can survive without eating meat. It is even healthier. So if you keep eating meat, you are literally a murderer. You can easily see where this conversation will go. Of course you can be friends with a vegan person, you can even be best friends. You like meat and he does not, no big deal. But you two will have a very bad start or never will become friends at all if you start arguing with him. So make use of the technique and avoid arguments when you want to befriend someone. These are just my favorites. The book offers about 30 really powerful techniques to win friends and influence people. Make sure you read it. I think the one people struggle with most is be a good listener. If you are interested in this topic, just watch my video Seek First to Understand, then to be understood. Thanks for watching, and guys, thank you very much for your feedback and for 500 subscribers in such a short time. You are incredible. And as always, remember to like, comment and share on Facebook or Twitter. And don't forget that you can also share on WhatsApp if you want to. And of course, if you'd like to watch your way to success, click to subscribe to Minion or more. Thanks guys, and see you next week.